Okay, volunteer opportunities. Friday, April 16th, we're unloading the Food Finders truck at the Youth Service Bureau, so we need some help with that. And Monday, April 19th, we're packing backpacks for Nourish. We've already got one person that signed up. Thank you, Mark. And others that want to help, we can use you. Just sign up on Portal Buzz or let me know. So we can get you signed up and committed to that. We also need volunteers still for Friday and Saturday at both McDonald's stores to collect money for Pancake Week. We did change Friday to an evening collection instead of morning. Jake Moore was set up for morning and he can't do the evening, so he's still going to do the morning at the North tomorrow, but the rest of it is set up for the evening, 5:30 to 7:30. Caleb talked to Paul Jadell and everyone agreed that would work out fine, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So tomorrow night, 5:30 to 7:30, we can use anybody and everybody at both locations. We hope that'll be busy. And Saturday, we're still on for Saturday morning. At that point, of course, we'll just be taking collections. There won't be any more sales unless somebody buys it at the beginning before they order, so they can get the use of the tickets. So let's try to get out there and let me know if you're able, because we can use the help. It's been a lot of fun. I was telling people earlier, we've got, I just tell them I'm from Chicago. You got three choices. Number one, you can buy a ticket. Number two, you can make a donation. Or number three, you don't want to hear about number three. So let's go back to number two. So we do get a lot of donations. It's worked very, very well, and we appreciate it. Caleb, you want to give us a rundown on the donations?
We are up to $1,730 as of today. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible that just standing out there for a couple hours in the morning is doing that. So, thank you to everybody for coming out. Byron, definitely thank you to you for kind of manhandling some folks and getting that moving. So, I think we're, I mean, as long as we keep getting the ticket money in, we're even without, unfortunately, we were not able to secure Chase's sponsorship this year just because of kind of what happened last year and everything. So that was kind of a longer story, but either way, we're still on track. I think we're probably our biggest pancake day that we've had. So thank you very much, everybody. And we're almost to the end. So good.
Yeah, let's get through it. It's been a lot of work. Caleb put a lot of work in it. Jerry, Byron, everybody in getting this thing going and working through this. So we appreciate it. Jerry, we still need speaker coordinators or speakers for July.
Yeah, I need, we've got 5 dates open in July. So if you've got an idea for a program, get in touch with me or Gary, and we'll get it on the schedule.
Good.
Meanwhile, thanks to everybody that's helped fill up April and May.
Thanks, Jerry. Again, we ask that every member consider what they would have paid for meals to be contributed to the club. So we're meeting our commitments, and with the success of the Pancake Day or Pancake Week, we'll still be able to continue moving forward with our commitments. So we appreciate it. We do have our Pat Klein scholarships that closed yesterday. Sharon, you'll check the things like Monday or Tuesday and the mailbox, and then get me any other applications, and we'll get them out to the committee. So appreciate that. Member updates. Dave Polly, I did talk to him yesterday. He's got an appointment with a surgeon today. Has been doing his exercises and rehab, so he hopes everything goes well. He feels really good, and he did say he's going to be able to make our board meeting next week. So we're looking forward to seeing him. Any other member updates from
I
anyone?
called Dave Foley a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Didn't realize how serious his fall was and the complications that came from it. Like, he broke more than 2 or 3 ribs. He broke about 7 or 8 ribs and really had some difficult times. Had some cracked ribs go through internal organs. And so he's on the mend. And so I don't know if people just give him a call and a holler and just say hi to him, probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure a card would help, and any of that, support that we can give him as a member of our family here. So thanks.
I talked to Hubert Danzebrink Saturday morning. It was his birthday. So I called him to wish him a happy birthday, and he said to say hello to everyone. He's looking forward to maybe when we can get back, meeting back face to face. He's had kind of a tough winter. So again, if you're thinking about him, why give him a call and let him know that you're thinking about him. Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. Speaking of the getting together in person and having some in-person meetings, we are going to discuss that at our board meeting next week. Don't know what the opportunities are that are available, but we'll see what we can work out. It would be good to somehow get together with everybody again. So we want to try to do that. Community involvement. We talked about Pancake Week and how that's going. Caleb, is there any other updates on it or anything you want to let us know?
I don't think so. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get a few more people for Friday afternoon. And then I know we got 3 on Saturday morning. We need a couple more at North on Saturday morning with Jake, but we've got 3 down south. So if you want to come and join the party, feel free. But I know we're good there. Jake definitely needs some assistance up north to wrangle some more dogs, and hopefully we'll have a total email by Saturday afternoon for what our numbers are looking like. So
good. And this Pancake Week has been so different this year, and we've had all kinds of questions on it from people as they've driven through and everything when we're collecting. But it has been great, and people in the community still support Kiwanis. They have enjoyed these 61 years of pancake breakfasts or pancake days, and trying to help us out by doing these. So let's keep that up and let's keep that going. Those of you that have ticket sales, please make sure you get that money into Sharon as soon as possible, so we can get an accurate accounting for where we're at with that. One other announcement, Chuck, I don't know if you want to say anything about the fish fry tomorrow. You're on mute. You're on mute, Chuck.
Yeah, Masonic Lodge is having a fish fry at the temple tomorrow. They'll be doing curbside delivery, so come on down and have some fish with us.
Yeah, it's 4 to 7 tomorrow, and I think it's what, $8 a plate.
Right.
Yeah, so let's go out and support some of the other organizations. They're trying to work real hard to rebuild that building, and if you've been in it, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. It'd be great to see it get completed there.
Jerry or Gary,
Yes.
Are they going to serve inside, or is it all going to be curbside?
I think it's mostly curbside.
So they're not going to be serving in the dining room.
They may serve some in the dining room.
Yeah,
So you don't know. You don't know for sure.
Some, Andy, because I was looking at the posting, and the posting that they had wasn't completely clear, but there is a phone number on it. If you want to look on Facebook, you can check that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Birthdays, 1929, Bo Schembechler. I think many of you remember him. American College Football Hall of Fame tackle for Miami. Was at the University of Michigan from 1969 to 89. 1932, Debbie Reynolds, American actress, Unsinkable Molly Brown and Singing in the Rain. And 1939, Ally McGraw, another American actress, was born. So they're all April Fools. Kiwanian birthdays this week. No Kiwanians, but my oldest son did turn 40 yesterday. So I guess that means I'm getting a lot older. So have to put up with that. Happy Bucks. Q3 we're in now. So Q3 we're going with Mountie Mission as the charity for it. So that's where the Happy Bucks are going this quarter. Sharon, do we know how much we ended up with for Q2? Not yet. Okay. So, yeah, you know, you have these meetings on the 1st of April, and it makes it very difficult for Sharon, but we always like to get on her about that, you know. Thank you, Sharon. So Q3 is Mountie Mission. Who's happy?
I am. It's opening day, so I'm going to put in a dime for every win that the Cubs should have this year. So I'll put in $10.
So they
I'll let
should
you guys
have.
do the math.
They should have. Okay.
Well, what I hope they have.
Well, I'll put a dime in for every White Sox win up to 100.
There you go.
I'll match you. Who else?
Yeah.
Jerry, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Sorry, I'll put 5 in just because I can.
Good. Thank you. Anybody else got another favorite team?
Oh,
Larry.
well, it's not about the team, but I wanted to put 5 happy bucks in for I got to visit with my niece and her husband from Pennsylvania last Saturday night, and it was our first get together as a family. So that was a lot of fun, and we hugged each other.
Cool. That is so darn important, and I'm really happy that those of us have gone through the shots and everything are getting to that point that we can meet with family and hug family. I know Shar had some time with her family this past weekend, right?
It's this weekend.
Oh, this weekend coming
We
up.
have Iris's second birthday party on Saturday, and then the Lincoln family Easter get together with the Easter egg hunt for an almost 1-year-old and a just turned 2-year-old. So that should be really exciting to see how they react to that.
Yeah. Now you got to remember, if you hide those Easter eggs, you got to write down somewhere where you hid them, because so many times those Easter eggs, we forget about them, especially if you're using the real ones. And, you know, come June or July, they will let you know where they're at. So make sure. Anybody else?
Hi, we're gonna have an 18 for Easter tomorrow, so that's worth it. You're happy about it.
Well, thanks, Morris. We appreciate that. Glad to see you. Okay.
Gary, happy bucks for Riley, $364.50.
All right. We'll hold on to that, and we'll just put that all with the other Riley stuff we had and contribute that at the district meeting.
Okay.
Okay. That's great. That's great. We'll put it all together and get it to Riley. Thank you all for that. Okay. National days. This is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. Today, of course, is April Fool's Day. So I got to tell you about some other national days. Okay. April 1st is Edible Book Day. Edible Book Day. So you can eat the books. It's also National Burrito Day. National Burrito Day. And it's also National Jump in Muddy Puddles Day. Bet you didn't know that. It's National Jump in Muddy Puddles Day. It's National 1 Cent Day. And it's Saint Stupid Day. So it's got a lot of fun days. So I'm going to launch some polling here so we can vote on these. So on your screen, you should be able to see a poll there, and you can click on whichever one you want. The top one is I've just read off 5 national days for April 1st. Which ones are real? And you can do multiple choice. If with none of them, all of them, or Edible Book Day, National Burrito, National Jump in Muddy Puddles Day, National 1 Cent Day, or Saint Stupid Day. Which ones do you think are real?
If today's National Burrito Day, is tomorrow Natural Gas Day?
It may be. It may be.
Here I am cheating because I read those at my meeting this morning.
Okay. So we got 11 people that voted for 12. We got 16 people. Who else here? Okay. Looks like National Burrito Day. People are voting is real. 1 for all of them. 2 for all of them. Okay. I think we got just about everybody up there. But the correct answer is all of them. So all of them are actual national national days. Edible Book Day, it's a very unusual holiday. It's celebrated around the world since 2000. So it is I guess it's commemorate the birthday of famous French gastronome Jean Anthelme Brelat-Savarin, best remembered for his book on psychology, which is a witty meditation on food. And it is National Burrito Day. So you need to check on Eric Chipotle. Let's see, I lost you all here for a minute. Chipotle is having a contest similar to the guy that lost his passcode to his cryptocurrency. There you get 10 tries to guess a correct 6-digit passcode for a chance to win a free burrito or up to 25,000 in Bitcoin. So I know Bud's not on here, but I'm sure he'd be right on the Bitcoin. But you can get on that starting at noon today. Just go to Chipotle, and you can check that out and vote and get either win a free burrito or maybe 25,000 in Bitcoin. And National Jump in Muddy Puddles Day, so you need to get this out to all your grandkids to honor children who have been diagnosed with childhood cancer. Teamed up with the Muddy Puddles Project. So that's today. National 1 Cent Day. On April 1st, the new 1 cent coin was introduced into the market. And this is the one I found the weirdest, but Saint Stupid Day. The Saint Stupid Days Parade is an annual parade in San Francisco on April 1st. Founded by Ed Holmes, the Bishop Joey of the First Church of the Last Laugh in the late 1970s, with the understanding that one of the unifying bonds in society is stupidity. So interesting. I never thought of that. Now I didn't, it's probably not good to lead from that into Byron telling us about his speaker today, but Byron, it's your turn.
Oh, okay, I got to get this.
He'll take care
Oh,
of
just lay that on there. Okay.
I'm going to mute everybody. And so Byron, you'll have to turn yours back on.
Okay. Can you hear me, Gary?
Yes.
Okay. Today I'm going to introduce to you my wife, Karen Thada. We've been married 43 years, and I met Karen at Iowa State University, where we both graduated some 45 years ago or whatever. Been a long time. I feel like I've really been blessed married to this woman, and she's been a good wife. So today she's going to talk a little bit about another very good, community club, and that is, well, not really a club, but it's a service club, the Thrift Shop. So Karen, you want to talk to us about the Thrift Shop?
Yes. All right. All right. Are you seeing my screen okay?
Yes, fine.
Okay. I don't know if we can move that over a little bit. All right. Well, thanks for this opportunity to talk to you about the Wesley Thrift Shop. Some of you I know are already well acquainted with the shop because you have a wife, or you've had a mother that worked there, or sister, or some relative. Maybe you've shopped there. Some of you might not even be aware that we have been here in the community for a long time. So I'll just start with our mission statement. Wesley Thrift Shop seeks to make disciples of Jesus Christ. We reach out with love and concern through our services to our community and the world. So we have been around for over 60 years now, or right around 60 years. It began back in 1959 with a group of women from First Methodist Church at that time. And the women's organization at that time was called the Women's Society of Christian Service, or WSCS. They saw a need to raise money for WSCS and for the church. So 10 women started by loaning $10 each to the cause. And eventually, when the money was made, they were paid back for those loans. And the store opened at 218 South Green Street, which was a house that was present in what is now the parking lot of First United Methodist Church. There used to be several houses there, you might remember. So they opened for sales then in 1960. They did visit the Lafayette thrift store and kind of modeled theirs after that. In their first year in business, they took in over 9,000 articles. And as articles would come in, they would handwrite tickets. We are a consignment shop, we don't take donations usually, but we are a consignment store. So in the picture here, some of you might remember these ladies, or Becky Deggetts, you might have known her husband, Bill, and Lucille Bonwell. So that was early on. I won't read through all these names, but these were some of the original women that served on what they called the Wesley Thrift Shop Committee. So you might see the names of some ladies there that you know, remember from the past, or maybe you knew their spouses. Interesting that you don't see most of the ladies' first names, you just see Mrs. and their husbands' names. So times have changed a little bit there. Speaking of change, over the years, the Methodist Church changed. In 1968, we united with the Evangelical United Brethren to become the First United Methodist Church. And WSCS changed its name in 1973 to become the United Methodist Women, and that's what we call ourselves today. In 1974, the shop moved just next door to 220 South Green Street into another house because they started to tear some of these houses down to make room for more parking for the church. And so they moved, and then they added on, if you can see on this side of the house, they need a little more space, so they added on a room there. So that was done in 1974. In 1980, they had accumulated $50,000 of funds and decided to set that aside in an endowment fund. And I thought this was real interesting. Okay, so this is over 40 years ago. And I got this quote out of an old secretary's book, but it said, in consideration of the fact that the present devoted workers will not be able to continue indefinitely to give of their time and strength as they have in the past 20 years, a plan has been devised for the continued financial needs of the UMW Society. So 40 years ago, those ladies who were working hard, they were concerned about who was going to take over, who was going to keep this mission going. And I know, just listening to Byron talk about Kiwanis, you worry about what's the future of your mission, you know, who's going to carry it on. And we think about that at the thrift shop today. Who's going to be our workers in the future, because we are all volunteers. I just thought it was interesting that 40 years ago they had the same thoughts. Helen Grenzbach, who was one of the original women that helped with this, when she passed away in 1997, she added another $20,000 to that endowment. Today, we withdraw about $6,000 a year from that endowment and give it away to various local charities. So the work those ladies did is still being carried on today. In 1995, we moved yet again as they continued to make room for more parking at the church property. And this is our current building at 315 West Market Street. It was donated to us by Myron and Patsy Pattison, who you see in the picture here. And it's adequate space. Sometimes we get a little crowded in there. We don't take large items like furniture, simply because we don't have space for it. But we do feel like it's a pretty good location. We have great parking there. It's easy in and out. It's pretty visible right there along Market Street. So it works well for us. Another big change that happened was in 1997, which was when we went digital. And this man in the picture here is Larry Huggins. He lives in Lafayette up at Westminster Village. He wrote a custom program for us that we used until last year. It worked great, but if things went wrong, he was the only one that really knew how to fix it. So as he's aging and as COVID hit, and we just got to thinking, you know, if something happens to Larry and he can't get down here and something goes wrong with this program, what are we going to do? So we actually reached out to a service that does, you know, computer work and stuff. And they looked at his program and says, we wouldn't touch that. So we decided to switch to a commercial consignment software called Consign Pro last July. And it's been working out pretty well. We've had to make a few adjustments in the way we do things. But at least if we have issues, we have technical support that we can call. They can take over control of our computer and fix it for us right then. And that's worked out pretty well. Another advantage of this program is, you can see on the bottom of the screen here, is that our clients, our consigners, can access their accounts online and look up and see what's sold or what's still available and how much money they have in their account that they've earned. So our consigners really like that feature. Another change is we are on Facebook now, as you almost need to be in this day and age. And we find that boosting a post on Facebook really does bring in new people that didn't know we were there and helps with sales. So we try to keep up with things on Facebook. Our leadership in the past, we've had really 3 managers, and keep in mind, these are all volunteers. I mean, this is really would have been a part-time, almost full-time job. But the original manager was Helen Grenzbach, and they nicknamed her lovingly the Witch. because she was so thrifty. And I read again in those secretary's minutes how she would say, you know, don't waste those safety pins, they cost money, or turn down the heat. It costs a lot of money to heat this place. So they called her the witch. And she served us well until she passed away in 1997. Eleanor Timmons, a lot of you would have known her. Her husband, Joe, was a banker here in town. She was our next manager. And then Myrna Vaught, a lot of you would know her, or her husband, Ernie, as well. She was our manager. And today we have a board of women that sort of oversee the operations. Nobody really wants to say, yes, I'll be the manager. Nobody wants that responsibility, but we try to divvy up the responsibilities a little bit more, and everybody has their own area that they take care of. But we do kind of look to Bev Bannon, Jerry Bannon's wife, as sort of our leader there, but she wouldn't say that she's the manager. You see Karen Biddle's name on there. I think you know her husband as well. And I'm on the board there. And I serve as the treasurer right now too. So you might recognize some of those names. Now, they are not all United Methodist women, however. We do have lots of volunteers that come from other churches, and we couldn't do it without them. But yeah, we're all volunteer run. We do love our volunteers. We have almost 100. Last year, because we could not have our annual luncheon, which we usually have to thank our workers, we gave away chamber bucks, $20 to each volunteer. And I think we gave away 97 of those. So we do have nearly 100 women and a few men. Like occasionally Byron gets involved if there's something to be done, if it needs some painting or whatever. So and we have had occasionally men that actually work in the store as well. The only people that we pay for work around there is Cleaning for Christ, which is a service provided by Through the Gate up in Linden. You might be aware of that mission. They serve women coming out of addiction, and they started a cleaning service to give the women employment and to raise funds for their organization. So we do employ them to clean once a week for us, and then we pay for lawn mowing and snow removal, but that's absolutely the only people we pay for any work. We do remain a ministry of United Methodist Women of First United Methodist Church, but as I said, we have volunteers that come from many other churches as well. Yeah, and you, Jerry, you might recognize this lovely lady here. This was at our 2013 luncheon. Maxine was one of our faithful workers that we missed today.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes. A little bit about the process. Like I said, we're a consignment shop. Wednesdays is our busy day from 9 to 4. Consigners can bring their items in to the back of the store, and they can bring in up to 6 items each week. It does cost $5 for an annual contract, so not too expensive. And so you can bring in something each Wednesday then. We take clothing, household items, books, shoes, linens, jewelry, miscellaneous. You just never know what you'll find. On average, we take in probably around 550 to 650 items each week. We have in the computer, we have 470 consigners. They're not all bringing in something every week, obviously, but they bring in the items. If they sell, they get 70%. We keep 30%. So anyone can be a consigner. They don't have to be a member of our church or anything like that. Anyone can be a consigner. That's also Wednesday is the day for payout. So people that want to collect their money do so on Wednesday. The next part of the process would be that the items brought in, then they're entered into the computer, and then they go to the tagging department. And as the tags are printed out, they get attached to the item. The tags look something like this. Each Each tag includes the contract number of who brought the item in, and each item has a unique item number, and then a description and the price and everything, and the barcode. So if it sells, then we have a barcode reader that takes care of it. These are just some pictures of the sales floor. We are open Wednesday through Friday from 9 to 4:30 and on Saturday from 10 to 2. Like I said, we don't take like furniture or real large items typically, just because our space is limited, but we have men's clothing, lots of women's clothing, shoes, housewares, linens and things like that, books and games, jewelry, those kinds of things. Okay, so what if things don't sell? When you bring an item in, it stays on the sales floor for the rest of that month and then the 2 following months. If it doesn't sell at that time, and if you, the owner, don't come in and take it back out, which you can do at any time if you want to, it goes to our dollar rack. So here's just a picture of our dollar rack after takeoff day. So the first Monday of each month, we move everything with a certain color of tag that came in a certain month, we move it to the dollar area. And if it sells, then the consignor does not get anything for it. They've essentially just donated it to the store, and the store keeps the entire dollar. So the old dollar items, if they still didn't sell for $1, they get removed from the store and donated elsewhere, like to Trinity Mission, or the Fish Clothing Pantry sometimes takes some of our clothing that hasn't sold yet. So that's a big day. That the first Wednesday after the first Monday is always a busy day when those new dollar items come out and people rush in to see what goodies they can get for $1. So over the years, we have donated money to lots of different organizations. Primarily the charities that we support are local ones, and you can see a list of those there. Also for the First United Methodist Church specifically, we have over the years, bought things that the church needs, like sound equipment, painting, things like that. We support the United Methodist Women's budget each year to the tune of $6,000. We support the Rainbows and Rhymes preschool that's located at our church currently, things like that. Beyond local, we've also supported missionaries, the United Methodist Children's Home, the Lucille Raines Home, which is in Indianapolis, and that is a project of the Conference United Methodist Church. Lexa McCampbell, which is Jim McCampbell's wife, she's active at the conference level for United Methodist Women. Recently, Loaf Ministries in Haiti, we sent them some money. Riley Hospital, which I know you guys are great supporters of that. But United Methodist Women's focus is women, children, and youth. So we don't limit ourselves to those causes, but you can see that we've supported lots of things over the last 60 years. Just to give you some idea of what we are able to do each year, these are the different things that we've given to in 2019, 20, and 21. Some of this comes from our endowment funds that we withdraw from twice a year. Some of it comes from money just as we make money and things accumulate, we're able to give to causes that we become aware of in the community. So you can see in recent years anyway, we've been able to give around $17,000 a year to different organizations, different charities. I just wanted to mention what impact COVID had on us. You can see our sales from 2019 to 2020, our sales were down about, $30,000. And the amount our consignors earned fell. We were closed for 2.5 months during 2020 because of COVID. And we decided to reopen in June. And in June last year, we sold Everything just went for $1 and we cleaned out the entire store. We painted the interior, and that's when we installed our new computer system and sort of started fresh. Our take-in stations in the back, we did, at the height of COVID, we did limit those to 2 take-in stations to sort of reduce the number of people that were in the store at a time. But we're back to 3 now. We do require masks yet at this point. We did spend a lot of money putting those plexiglass shields up by the sales counter and that kind of thing. So COVID did impact us quite a bit last year, but we hope to have a better year in 2021. So some benefits besides the money donated to charity, we provided a reasonably priced place for people to shop for good quality items, and a place for people to recycle their gently used items that they no longer want. It is also a great social activity for the ladies and the men that volunteer there. We do also have a tithe fund that we use if someone has a fire in their home, or we're aware of some need where the people aren't able to even afford our low prices, we will help them out at no cost to them. Some challenges that we have, shoplifting is an issue. Things do disappear there, believe it or not. People steal from the thrift shop, where we would give it to you if you couldn't afford to buy it. When we painted last summer, we took down the mirrors in the dressing room, and we found stuff behind stuff behind those mirrors where people had torn off the tickets and hid them in there, and then walked out with the items. So shoplifting is also a challenge. We have chased people down in the parking lot though, so don't try it if you're thinking about it. Staffing is always a problem or a challenge, finding volunteers, because primarily we are over probably 60 or 70 there. So as our volunteers age and are no longer able to work or move to live closer to their children, that kind of thing. And then we have a lot that goes south in the wintertime, a lot of snowbirds. So that's always a challenge. All right, so I would encourage you to come shop with us or consign with us if you'd like to, or better yet, volunteer with us, or if you know someone that would like to volunteer. We're always looking for good help. So what questions might you have that I could try to answer?
Karen, can you take off share screen now, or if you're done with that?
Yes.
Please. So get everybody else back on here. There we go.
And both men's and clothes, or just women's clothes?
We have men's clothes as well, and children's.
Do you find that men are apprehensive to bring in because they think it's a women's consignment?
When I've worked take-in, I don't know. There's quite a few brave men that come in. Byron comes in sometimes and he used to bring items in when I was working and he was retired. But there's quite a few men that come in, but I would say 80% of it is women. But yeah, there's several men, and sometimes a couple, if they have a lot of stuff, they will get 2 contracts, and he'll have one and she'll have one. I see that quite often.
And the contracts cost $5?
$5 for the year, yes.
Yeah.
And you don't pay that up front. It comes out of when you start selling things, it comes out of your proceeds.
I have a comment to make. When my first husband passed away in 1993, Eleanor Timmons came to my home and took all of his things and took it to the thrift shop for me, priced them so I didn't have to do anything. She was just such a lovely lady. I worked for over 20 years at Union Federal Savings and Loans, so I always was very close to Joe and Eleanor. But I still think about that good deed she did so many years ago.
Oh, that was wonderful. What a blessing. Yeah, sometimes we do take donations of clothing if it's someone from the church that's passed away, or like when my mother passed away, I know I brought in and just donated her things. But typically if somebody just comes with a trunk load of stuff and says, I want to donate this, we don't do it. But
How are items priced, Karen? Do you price it or does the consignor price it or what?
The consignor sets their own price.
Okay.
They bring in, they have we call it your green sheet, where they write down their description and what they want for it. So when they come in, we just enter that information into the computer.
You might mention if it doesn't sell.
So if I,
Yeah. If it doesn't sell, they are welcome to check it back out at any time if
okay.
they want it back. But most people, they're like, hey, once I bring this in here, I don't want it back. If it
So
doesn't sell.
if I brought in a pair of pants and told you I wanted $80 for it, you'd tell me, hey, that's crazy, and this is the price it should sell for, or you give us some help in pricing it.
Yeah, we could make recommendations and tell you what things usually sell for. But most customers are repeat customers, and they are also shoppers too. You just go from putting things in to going out and shopping. So they're usually pretty well aware of what prices are reasonable.
Okay.
Gary, I might mention that sometimes, we know people that maybe lost their home in a fire or something. Sorry.
And they can come and get items.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll help them out with that tithe fund. Yeah.
Good.
Karen, what kinds of items are the big sellers?
Well, boy, I don't know if I could pick one thing. I would say women's blouses are big sellers and also a very commonly brought in item, while women's pants don't seem to sell near as well. Children's clothing usually sells pretty well. And good housewares, like practical things, like pots and pans or dishes, that kind of thing usually sell pretty well. I don't know. It's quite a mix. It'd be hard to say what sells best.
Of course, you
I see
saw.
Sally.
Excuse me, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I see, well, Dennis Coons is on there. It says Sally Coons, but Sally is a very faithful volunteer down at the thrift shop too. She's done a lot of work down there.
Yeah, as you saw, my wife's on the board, and I've got a lot of thrift shop shirts that I wear to work. Because a lot of times, if somebody passes away or whatever, a man passes away, and they'll bring the clothes in, and a lot of the clothes are practically brand new. I mean, they're just in very good shape, and I hate to go out and spend, $40 for a shirt and then wear and get hair all over it, so it's really been kind of nice for me, especially for shirts. Short sleeve shirts is what I usually wear to work.
Yeah, those people that volunteer the take-in station, they get first dibs on all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That's a little perk of working there. Or if you're on the takeoff crew, you get first dibs when things go to the dollar rack. So
yeah,
there's some advantages.
I get tickled at my wife because she'll see something out in the store that might be $5, and she waits around till it goes to the dollar store. I said, well, why don't you go ahead and buy it? Well, I might get it for $1. Maybe that's why I'm so rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else have any questions? I think it's a great, very, very well run operation with everything you do there. That's amazing to have the inventory system that you have and able to put that all together. That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you, can I tell a quick funny story about Helen Grinzenbach? She was a great lady. But I was on the board of trustees at the church with Helen, and of course, you all know me. I'm kind of say a lot of quips, or I'll say something kind of humorous when I shouldn't be sometimes. But I sat by Helen at my first trustees meeting, and I said a couple things and she started laughing, and it was kind of hard to get Helen to laugh because she was kind of serious. And so at the end of the meeting, she said, now, next time we have a meeting, she said, I'm not going to sit by you. You're too distracting. I said, well, okay, that's fine. So then the next meeting showed up. I showed up at the next meeting. She had a seat saved for me. She wanted me to sit by her. So I always sit by Helen at the trustees meetings.
So did you distract her then?
Nice.
Oh yeah, I didn't change much.
And she reveled in the idea of being the witch of the thrift shop.
Oh yeah, she loved that title. She was quite a gal. She was a great lady.
Cool. Well, thank you all for being here. Karen, thank you for presenting today, and thank you for helping at McDonald's. You were out there the first day, and she was out there like the cheerleader with the sign, so it was great. Really, really appreciate it.
was
Yeah, I
fun.
think Stock and Field would probably hire you to stand out there on the 231.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I better go.
Well, no one's. Is it still Stock and Field? I don't know. They
I don't know what's going on, but they
the
have
other
people
day was
standing
the
out there
last
holding
day or
signs.
something, and now the other company's buying it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to continue to operate as Stock and Field though,
Okay.
or out of Stock and Field, maybe.
Yeah, out of Stock and Field.
Well, they were
yeah.
usually out of stock. Yeah.
Yeah. That's correct. Okay. Our next meeting will be April 8th, and our speaker will be Paul Miller with the Crawfordsville Fire Department EMS. He's got some new stuff to share with us. So he called, hey, nice picture, Mac. See? He called and wanted to share some stuff with us. So we thought we'd get him back here, and he's going to tell us about some new things that they've got going on. Positive thought of the day: somewhere someone else is happy with less than you have. So remember that. Thank you all very, very much for being here today, and we will see you next Thursday, same place, same time.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye
Thank you,
all.
Caleb. Thanks, Caleb, for all your work.
Yeah. Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.